Masuk ah.
So
Masuk ah.
fine. Start, I guess. Hi
What's
everyone,
up?
we're brothers Ali. I'm
Yeah.
Sai Ali,
I'm Mickey.
and today we're gonna talk about M3GAN. So we're gonna revisit what everybody has been saying. Yes, it's a January horror flick that is PG-13, produced by Blumhouse. That
Yeah.
surprisingly doesn't suck.
And also produced by James Wan's production company. I'm gonna put the logo or something later in post. Yeah, it doesn't suck. And based on the poster, I mean, it's pretty obvious what it was going for, right?
Yeah, like you know,
You
you
know,
know.
a killer doll. A killer doll. It's Chucky. It's pretty much Chucky.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
This that I think this movie is a little bit stronger, not only because you know how Megan came to be is more what do you call it, more easy to understand because
Yeah.
it there's no some supernatural way that it comes up. What makes it different with Chucky is that this time it is a more digestible way of explaining how she came to be. So it's
Yes.
not so much supernatural, it's mostly just scientific in a sense. And more like engineering and whatnot.
And if you realize this, I mean, right? I mean, you remember the remake or the renew rendition of Invisible Man? It's also, despite the original being like science in the sense of like potions and stuff, I think. And this one, the newer one, is like very technologically inclined. So this is basically the technological inclination version of Chucky,
All right.
and it's different than how we just digest horror, and it's in line with how people are being afraid of in the modern sense.
I very much enjoyed this film for what it is, and I like the fact that this movie know what it is.
Oh, it really knows what it is. I mean it doesn't like it totally is like playing around with the conventions of slasher. It knows what it is, and you know, it doesn't take itself even that seriously. I mean, okay, there's also my boy Ronnie Chiang. He's great in it. Yeah, he's a likable presence despite the little screen time that he has.
Um,
Actually,
I
it's a lot, but yeah,
I think
I enjoy
like
him.
he is serviceable. I
Yeah,
think he's fine.
yeah,
I mean just like Michelle Yeoh, his Malaysian accent is not gone. Is there, and he doesn't need to hide it. It's just that something that I
it's an
observe
observation. Yeah,
as observation. Um, like most of the characters are pretty one dimensional, I would say, but the two leading roles, which is the aunt and the niece, they very much carry the movie.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
But to tell you the truth, I feel like the niece does it more because the auntie is pretty like pretty much of a passive character until she isn't, and we will get to that.
yep,
um yeah, I think most of the characters are pretty one dimensional, but they serve the purpose they need to serve in the movie, and they are very self-aware of what kind of movie they are in. And even there's like one scene when they do like a camera like that, you know, when Megan start to go out of control, and then you know the auntie suspect, she's the creator of Megan, she suspect something is wrong. She like straight up tape the, you know, the doll, and like the camera zoom and everything and zoom out. It's like it's a very 80s slasher kind of vibe,
yeah,
but without the 80s slasher tinge to it. It's just like that's why we know that the movie is very self-aware of the silliness nature
yes,
that it presents. And yeah, I really like the combination of um the what do you call it?
Animatronics.
Animatronics and CGI, which is not um one does not outshine the other. The CGI is just enough to move the joints, but not too much that it becomes glaring.
And I really like how the character Megan's writing is in line with how we are actually worried about AI. I mean, you know about AI art and stuff like that, right? Like, it's evolving and you never know what's gonna happen. And I even read an article where there's already a technology where the AI can replicate an entire conversation with just 3 minutes of recording, and that's the movie actually is very successful in capitalizing on that modern kind of horrors in our society, which is, I think, pretty timely.
The
Yeah.
movie have like about 3 jump scares pretty much. And to me that doesn't count as actual horror.
It doesn't.
Um
Never does.
and then when there's like the killings are going on and then stuff starts to happen, um I would say like the the horror element of it is competent enough, plausible enough to be like, okay, this is a horror slasher film, but not so much that I feel emotionally distraught at the time. I mean, I don't feel like, my I don't feel like that.
Yeah,
So,
because it's pretty clean, straightforward, and yeah, because it's PG-13, so
yeah,
they
like
cannot put as much as they
I
want
want
to.
this. I want to say. I would like to say as much as I enjoyed the film and a lot of people also does.
Yep.
Um, like which is by the way why I watched the film. I didn't see the trailer. I just saw the poster. I saw a bunch of like people who I usually watch reviews of have it on their thumbnail, and everybody is so eager to review it. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's just watch this movie. Even we are like we don't have the budget right now, but we'll go ahead.
And honestly, I'm not even like, I'm not even in the slightest interested in this movie. But since like, what the hell not, right? Like,
Yeah. That's what we try to do to this year. It's not so much as a resolution, it's more like a mission. No matter how busy or what may come, we will try to watch as many movies that we are interested in as possible. So, as much as I want to say that the horrors are plausible, they lack oomph. And unfortunately, it's the same problem that you get from a movie like Venom. What I want to talk about here is the fact that the violence needs to be shown.
yeah,
Because the killer need to look like the like very malicious and very vicious in a sense.
yes,
Like, in order for a crime to be taken as a heinous crime, you need to see the heinous thing going on.
the gruesomeness, yeah.
Imagine if you watch like a cooking show, and they say, "Oh, cut the onion," and then they just show, he wants to like press the knife point to the onion, and then it shows it's already cut. It's not as effective compared to when you actually see the chef cutting the onion. It's like that. You have to see the process in a sense. Not
Yeah.
not indulge in it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
we don't need the indulgence. But I think I saw like PG-13, gore done better. Specifically the one that I top of my head is the what was that, like the latest Predator movie, Prey. Yeah. Prey I think.
It was shot like as if PG-13, but it's
Yeah.
like let's camera and find out some.
Yeah, I'm not saying that movie is perfect,
footage. Yeah.
but that movie does it like a bit better than this film. So yeah, the killings like oomph because of the PG-13 dampening the visuals.
You know what PG-13 horror is like? It's like watching, let's pick a movie, the Evil Dead reboot, and then it's being shown on national TV. That's how PG-13 feels like. I mean, you cannot show the violence, but suddenly it's just like you saw the chainsaw going to a victim, and then it's just blood everywhere on the floor. Like what?
Yeah, that I think that is why, I mean, from my understanding, horror have many subgenres and subgenres under the umbrella of horror, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to do a slasher where you don't see the slashing. I mean, if you do like a psychological horror, it's more haunting when you don't actually see anything, you know. But in this case, the horror comes from the slashing, but you don't get to see the slashing. It kind of gets in the way of the story that it was to tell,
I
the
mean,
genre that it's going for.
I mean, what's the point of making a slasher? Yeah, like you said, if you don't show it, like, isn't that contradictory in a sense?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and also, why sell horror to kids? PG-13 is clearly, this is a bigger issue, right?
I disagree with horror as a whole. To me, you can still do horror for kids. I mean, there are some good shows going on
Oh yeah,
right
yeah,
now that
there
are
is.
PG-13. And you know, there was like, Are You Afraid of the Dark, like Goosebumps. Those work because like not all episodes, but some of them work. A lot of them work because it talks about like the things that, you know, that children go through. To me, the problem here is not just horror as a whole. It's specifically slasher. It's not as
Yeah, yeah,
effective in
yeah.
the PG-13 setting.
Yeah, it cannot work. I mean, this is like
It can maybe with some imagination. This just ain't it, shift. Like I said, Prey does it a little bit better. That movie also doesn't do it good enough, well
Yeah.
enough,
but
but it's better than this movie.
yes, and you got as you go further in the movie, you got some surprising sequences, like, you know, very surprising. If you sing real still, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
there are like scenes like that sprinkled throughout, like very like you know, like cheeky satire scenes, and even
Yeah.
some heartwarming scenes, and you're crying as some of the characters are crying. I mean, it is very well made in the sense that all of it is intent, except for the horror of the slashing. All of its intent met with an outcome that you know, that is about the same weight as like you know, intent and then delivery and then outcome. They're like very balanced. So they come out exactly as you think it will come out, you know. And I think the delivery here is great beyond what the problem I said was, you know. And then the thing about this film is that um I see a problem where like I said, the main character, which is the auntie, and like, there's two main characters actually.
Yeah.
She is kind of like a passive character, but then towards the end, she just all of a sudden put you know, two and two together, and then she just suddenly knows what's going on. Like, she just suspects, but her action is like she already knows.
And when she's only speculated those things happen throughout the movie, but then there's only like it clicks and she just knows like okay, this is like a classic case of running out of budget to the third act, so we're rushing things, kind of thing, you know.
In contrast, the niece is really good.
Yep.
I mean,
the kid's really good.
so good, in fact, that I mean, I think she is the main heart of the movie.
Yes.
That at one point there's like a bully character. His acting is like what you would expect from a kid. You know, it's bad naturally. I mean, it's not their fault. I mean, they're kid actors. What can you do? Like,
Yeah.
if you can already go on the camera and just say your lines, you're already great, in my opinion, if you're a kid.
Yep.
But some kids are so good that when you see a kid who acts like a kid, and we like, man, that kid is bad. No, that kid is not bad. That kid is just a kid. That other kid, she's just really good.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's one of those cases that you realize as you watch the movie, as you follow along.
Here's to hoping she's like another kind of like very talented actor, like the one I came in my mind right now is McKenna Grace. She's like in everywhere. She's I think the latest one she was in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, she's very good, and I hope this kid from M3GAN will go somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Go
okay.
go places.
Let's talk about M3GAN. Okay, M3GAN, I like the fact that she's very sassy, but I like more sassy characters that you see in a typical like Hollywood media. She is more actionable,
Yes.
as you can pretty much guess already. But the thing is, I don't mean it in just in a way that she's like um like, I mean, she's radicalized not just in the form of like a physical movement. The way she talks over time shows that she learns more and more.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the movie does not hop and look at the camera and say, "Oh, this is what's going on. This character learn this." They can no. That's
Oh
not
yeah,
like
it's natural progression.
yeah, especially question there's no the exposition comes from watching the movie itself. Like you exposed to the
Yeah.
information as you watch the movie.
There's no like
That's what I like about this
there's
film.
no like a dedicated pause shot where they like dump some exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah.
And the thing is, yes, it's futuristic technology, but ever since 2001 Space Odyssey, people pretty much have like a set idea of what the future might be. And as we can see now, AI art is running rampant, right?
Yep.
And even like robotics are getting better and better, and we just see they are more intelligent. So the trajectory of where things are going makes you already directly understand what you see as you see it. And the movie does not treat you like an idiot. Okay, why does the character can change voice? Why does the character like just go through a hallway and like some security stuff are disabled or something? You already know why. Because of, maybe Wi-Fi connection is interconnected. You remember the concept of Internet of Things? Was it like in the early 2000s, I think?
It's still around, but it's not as being hyped about.
Yeah.
It's just there.
In case you don't know, the Internet of Things is like the attempt of marketers as a whole to lobby everything to be integrated with technology. Like for example, this sofa can also massage you. And then it is also like connected to the computer, and so you can talk to the sofa. Like it's pretty ridiculous. And we see a lot of advancements as we go along. Like for example, the pinnacle of the evolution of Internet of Things, Juicero, for example.
Making juice is easy.
Like you like
Juicero, huh?
Yeah.
That's a doozy. So, how do we like it? Want to plug it in with the ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with you. How would you rate
I
it?
think the movie is just a solid 8. It delivers on everything that it wants to deliver, but it cannot be a masterpiece simply because it's not even trying to be.
I'm gonna lower mine a bit from his by 0.5. So mine is 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it could have been better, but for what we get, it's phenomenally entertaining, right?
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Okay,
Yes.
here's like where the PG-13 actually comes in favor. If you like want to see you should want to maybe introduce to your kids like horror, and they're
Yeah.
already 13, and then maybe you want their first experience to be in the cinema, yeah, go ahead. Like you can just watch this for this pretty
Yep.
safe for kids. I mean, it does
Have some gruesome
discuss
Yeah.
a lot of like varying aspects of the concept of death, but the way it does it is not too indulgent,
Yeah.
that it becomes too graphic in even in the figurative way. So I think it's pretty safe for this to be like your kids who are 13 and above, like their first experience to dabble in the world of horror.
So that's what we think about M3GAN. What do you think about M3GAN if you've seen it? leave your thoughts in the comments below. So, nak keluar?
Uh,
Keluar?
keluar.
Keluar.